Hello everybody, it is me, Super Godzilla Final Wars here, and today we're going to be reviewing Shin Godzilla. Now, part of me wanted to do the MonsterVerse one by one, but I decided to wait for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire to come out on DVD. So we're doing the Raw era of Godzilla movies first, or whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if I'm saying the name right. And joining me today is, well, Shin Godzilla. So I take it at me because I was too terrified about this film. I don't know, I'll check. Hey Mikasa, what? You want to review Shin Godzilla? Hell no! There's your answer. Huh. Didn't realize my film was that horrifying. So Shin Godzilla came out at least 2 years after Godzilla 2014. And immediately people thought this was going to be like a continuation of the 1954 film. Not only that, people thought this was going to be like, oh, I don't know, like maybe like Shin Godzilla being like the zombie version of the 1954 Godzilla coming back from the dead, but no. Later on, I figured out this was its own solo universe. It had nothing to do with the 1954 Godzilla movie, and everyone forgot who Godzilla was. And I was going to say this film did better than 2014. So are you going to give me like a 4-star review, like a 4 Golden Godzilla star review, or no? I'm going to give it a 4.5 Golden Godzilla star review. And there's a big reason why I give it 4.5. The opening scene of Shin Godzilla was intense, and I like the classic Godzilla foot stomping and roaring. I like that. I really do like that. But the thing is, there was too much human character scenes in this film. Literally, this film took a page out of 2014's book. But it was kind of better than 2014. But I will say this, the human characters in this particular movie are not my favorite characters. If anything, I don't like these human characters at all, mainly because, well, for one, they don't really serve as, like, really interesting characters for the story. They just mostly focus on trying to figure out who Godzilla is and how to defeat him. In fact, there's way too many characters I could barely even remember for their names. I can't even remember that one character who actually knew who Godzilla was. And I will say this, Godzilla having forms here, well, it was not surprising to me considering he had the Godzilla source form, but still. And I really wish we got to see what Shin Godzilla's first form looked like. But instead, all we just saw was its tail. That's all we saw. And I know there is some, like, concept art about what Shin Godzilla's first form looked like, and honestly, I would have liked it better if we saw it in the actual film. And do not get me wrong, this is one of the most creepiest Godzillas I have ever seen in my entire life. And Shin Godzilla, like, evolving from different forms of him just, like, wobbling around like this, and then he just evolves to become more like a hunchback version of his previous self and just, like, kind of walking around. And I kind of like that zombie dead eye thing. I really like that. The second form didn't really have any roars, so this is kind of quiet. But the third form had the iconic Godzilla roars. Hell, there was even a deleted scene that showed this particular form vomiting blood. Literally. This thing went bleh. It was like so creepy and disturbing. I like that. I really do like that. And I wish we actually would have saw it in the film, but then again, this film would probably been given a rated R film. Don't get me wrong, rated R films are not that bad, and I've seen plenty of worse films, in my opinion. Because I've seen a lot of worse rated R films, and my god, they could have been way better. I don't even know if I can name all of them. Are they mostly sci-fi films? Oh yeah, they are mostly sci-fi films. And they could have been way better, but no, they turn out to be worse. They turn out to be a living piece of garbage. But still, this particular film, on the other hand, was horrifying enough. But still, I would have liked it if we saw what Godzilla was doing besides just, trying to evolve to become another form. And the fourth form, the one that we obviously do know, happens to be the most iconic and most popular design of Godzilla in history. Hell, if I remember correctly, there's even a statue of Shin Godzilla in Japan. Don't believe me? Go look it up. Shin Godzilla has been popular by a lot of fans. He's made a lot more appearances in video games more than movies. Because I really thought that Shin Godzilla was going to get a sequel, but eventually we didn't get a sequel. All we got was a solo film. And I guess the only closest sequel we actually do got of the Shin Godzilla 2 film was that crossover with Evangelion and Godzilla. And I'll say this here, I am not a fan of Evangelion, and I'll never will be a fan. And there's a reason why I say this, because it kind of follows Shin Godzilla a bit, and actually does a battle. And as he battles Shin King Ghidorah, which this version of Shin King Ghidorah is amazing. I love this Shin King Ghidorah design. This Shin King Ghidorah design is terrifying. It is menacing. And when we saw the fourth form of Shin Godzilla coming out, it was amazing. It was amazing. The classic Godzilla themes, oh, that gave me chills. That gave me real chills. This is why I gave it a 4.5 star Golden Godzilla star review. Because in my opinion, this film was definitely better than 2014. But still, what is up with these T-Rex arms? Like, seriously, why did Toho decide to give you, like, T-Rex arms? I honestly do not know how to answer that question. I really do not know how to answer that question. And I love how this particular Godzilla has the combined roars of the Showa and Heisei era. Because if you watch the film, you could hear that this particular Godzilla has the roars of both the Showa and Heisei roars. Mostly from the 1984 film. And I will say this, the soundtrack is amazing. Especially Who Will Know. That is possibly the most iconic themes I've ever seen. And Godzilla's atomic breath scene, this Godzilla shoots not only atomic breath from its mouth, but he also can shoot atomic breath from his back and from his tail, which happens to have a face. Edo. Yeah, that thing still creeps me out, but then again, my OC has a similar thing, but it kind of morphs into a King Ghidorah head. But still, the thing that ruined this film to me, honestly, was the fact that Godzilla barely did anything in the film. We didn't even see him trying to evolve into his next form. Like him evolving to his fourth form. We saw him evolve, well, kind of evolve into his second form. We saw him evolve to his third form. But we can't see him evolve into his, fourth form. Not only that, we're supposed to guess what the fifth form, or sixth, or seventh, or eighth form looked like. But don't worry, because Goji Center made a video about that, of Shin Godzilla versus Legendary Godzilla. Go check it out. It is amazing. But the human characters, to me, ruined everything in this film. Because they are boring, they have no character arcs, no character development, and zero purposes in this movie. Their purpose is just to continue the movie, or continue the story. And I just wish that we would have had another monster to fight Godzilla. Well, honestly, this film would have been amazing if we got, I don't know, like a Shin Angirius or a Shin Ghidorah, maybe even earlier in the film. That would have been amazing to see Shin Godzilla versus Shin King Ghidorah. That would have been the best thing I have ever saw in this movie, but no. But I will say this, that end scene about Shin Godzilla's, like, humanoid forms crawling out from the tail. But that scene was just creepy, and it gives you the idea about there being a sequel, but after all these years, we get no word of a sequel, but instead, other Godzillas, completely not related to this particular Godzilla movie, in completely different universes, like the Earth Godzilla trilogy, or Singular Point, or -1, or Gemstone Godzilla. All those Godzillas are not continuations of Shin Godzilla. If anything, they are their own universe. And I think that is what the current Raw era of Godzilla movies is struggling. They're struggling to stay with a particular universe that they actually want to stay in. Shin Godzilla, they didn't want to stay in Shin Godzilla, so they gave Earth Godzilla a try. Which they did. But only for 3 motherfucking movies. Singular Point, possible season 2. -1, possible sequel, because the director of -1 confirms that he wants to do a second movie. Hell, if we're lucky, we might have a new Raw era of Godzilla movies be -1's movies. Maybe he will be like the Godzilla that will continue the Raw era of Godzilla movies. And we can still have like Gemstone Godzilla and Singular Point be their own universes. Overall, this film, it was way better than 2014, honestly, in my opinion. It was way better. I just wish the human characters would actually have a purpose and have good character arcs and character development. Furthermore, I wish we saw like a monster fight, or at the very least, show us like Godzilla transforming to his other form, or a possible hint about his 5th form, because those humanoid forms are not the greatest hint of a 5th form, if you ask me in my opinion. One of the characters said that Shin Godzilla might sprout wings. Holy crap, show me that! A Godzilla with wings? Holy crap, I would love to see that. Overall, this film was okay, in my opinion. And definitely better than 2014, that's for damn sure. So stay tuned for my next review. And again, I already gave this movie a 4.5 Golden Godzilla star review, so you don't need to know about the review. Or the rating, at least. So I'll see you guys in the next video, which we're going to be reviewing the Earth Godzilla trilogy. Oh boy. Good luck with that one. I don't even need luck. You probably already know what my reviews are going to be for the other 2 movies. But for the first one, you might want to stick around for the first one.